Welcome back, our esteemed learners. Remember, we were talking about inversions, and we said that inversions is when we have an inversion is where the subject and the verb order is reversed, or the verb comes before the subject, or the auxiliary comes before the subject. And we said that you can achieve inversions through time adverbials like never, never before, no sooner than, hardly when, scarcely when, okay? And then such that when you have a sentence but now you use it to achieve that kind of inversion. And then we also say that you can achieve inversions through exclamations with words such as here and there. For example, there goes the bride, here comes the woman, all right? And then we say that you can achieve inversions through questions. For example, you change the sentence into a question such that the auxiliary comes before the verb, the subject. For example, she is sick, so you change it, is she sick, all right? Another way, you can use it after the words such as so, neither, or nor. I have never been to Kitale, so nor have I. All right, Mary has never been to Kitale, nor have I, or neither have I, or I have eaten chips today, so has Mary. All right, so has Mary, have I. Those ones are inversions. You can achieve that in the second part of the sentence through after words such as neither, nor, and so. And then we can also achieve inversions through adverbial expressions such as we can say, for example, only with words like only after I ate the banana, did I go to the toilet? Only after I ate the banana did I go to the toilet. So you can be given a sentence, I had eaten the banana, then I went to the toilet. So use the adverbial expression only after to achieve the inversion such that it becomes only after I ate the banana did I go to the toilet. And then I gave you an exercise. So in the exercise, you're supposed to change the normal sentence into one with inversion. So the first sentence read, John had never been to such a fantastic restaurant. Okay, the answer should be, never had John been to such a fantastic restaurant. Never had John. Okay, so had comes before John. Remember, the first time I need to correct, I had said never has John in our example before we ended the lesson. So it's supposed to be, never had John been to such a fantastic restaurant. All right. Question 2. People rarely appreciate this musician's talent. People rarely appreciate this musician's talent. Rarely do people. Now that one you have to include do. Rarely do people appreciate this musician's talent. Rarely do people appreciate. So, okay. So do there comes before the word people. Okay. It doesn't have to have this coming before. All right. Now question 3. The children should on no account go on their own. All right. On no account should the children. Already we have the auxiliary, so we don't need to add it like we did in the second sentence. So on no account should the children go on their own. Number 4, we would understand what happened that night only later. Only later would we understand. So already we have the auxiliary. We don't need to add another one like we did in the other sentence. So only later would we understand what happened that night. Then I seldom leave my house so early. Seldom do I. Remember we have introduced an auxiliary. Seldom do I leave my house so early. Okay, so remember the auxiliary must come before the subject. Okay, normally the auxiliary is normally introduced if it's not there. Okay, and we've said that there are time adverbials that can help us, adverbial expressions. We've said questions can help us achieve inversions, and we also said that words such after so, neither, nor can help us achieve inversions. All right, so today we are going to look at functions of inversions in sentences. Functions of inversions. Okay, number 1, it is used to form questions. So functions of inversions, number 1, we have to form questions, so that we have she is walking. Okay, so how do we achieve is she walking? Okay, So this one is achieved by bringing the auxiliary before the subject. So auxiliary comes before the subject. It's quite simple in this case, okay? With questions, it's quite simple to explain how it happens, all right? So the auxiliary comes before the subject such that is she walking, all right? Number 2, it is used in foregrounding. Foregrounding. Foregrounding is when a speaker. So foregrounding is when the speaker positions a clause or a phrase in order to draw attention to it. Okay, so you use inversion to do what? To foreground an idea. Okay, for example, okay, so in the sentence, so exhausted were the children that they slept without eating supper. Were the children so that they slept without eating supper. So the speaker foregrounds the degree of exhaustion. The children had. Okay, so the speaker foregrounds the degree of exhaustion the children had. All right, another way you can foreground the what? You can position a clause in order to draw attention to it. We can have okay, so here you've just foregrounded the noun clause, okay, the time that came. It doesn't look like there's an inversion, but the inversion comes that they went home when evening came. So you just change. When evening came, they went home. Another one, under no circumstance should you be found in the principal's office at night. Okay, so you can use, remember we were talking about inversions can be used to foreground, where you position a clause or a phrase in order to draw attention to it. You want the student to understand that under no circumstance, this is the condition that you've been given, so that you should not be found in the principal's office. The same case with this one, never before. So never, okay, the idea of never is being brought out, okay? So here the second one, the first one, so exhausted were the children that they slept without eating. The speaker foregrounds the degree of exhaustion that the children had, okay? Like in a composition, you can foreground, all right, through inversion, such that you say, so exhausted was I, that I could not see the car approaching. Maybe you're talking about an accident that happened. So you can use inversions to foreground your idea, or maybe to bring emphasis to it, to draw the reader's attention to that particular part of the sentence, all right? Now, another way another function of inversion, number 3, is used to okay, it is used to express wishes or exclamations. For example, may you live below 1,000 may you live to blow 1,001 candles. So may you, are you saying that may you has been, we have used inversions in what? To express wishes, all right? May you live to blow 1,001 candles, or may you live to be rich, may you live to be prosperous, all right? And in exclamations, for example, and these flowers lovely, okay, and these flowers lovely. So the auxiliary has come before noun these flowers. Okay, isn't she lovely? All right, so is has come before she. All right, so you can use inversions in expressing wishes or exclaiming. All right, number 4, you can use them in question tags. In question tags, for example, we are going home, and we. So this is the question tag. So we are using inversions in answers to in the question tags. Okay. Now number 5. Correlatives. Okay. In sentences, inversions can be used in sentences that have what? Correlatives. This is not something new. For example, the correlatives include had, no sooner than correct. Not only, but also. All these are correlatives. We normally call them correlative conjunctions. All right. So we can use inversions in sentences that have what? Correlatives. Let me give you an example. Okay. So okay, not only is she, remember the auxiliary comes before the what? The subject. She's not only a teacher, but also a guitarist. Okay, so you can use inversion where this one comes before, then you say not only is she. All right, not only is she. This is where the inversion comes in. The verb comes before the subject. All right, then another thing, other examples: hardly had we arrived, then it started when it started raining. Scarcely had we entered the bank than it was robbed, or when it was robbed. And maybe no sooner did we arrive than it started raining. All right, yeah, or then it started to rain. Okay, the last one. Okay, in conditional statements, okay, in conditional statements, a sentence can be rephrased using inversion. For example, so were she rich, she would buy a lot of land. Okay, if she was rich, she would buy a lot of land. Okay, was she rich? She would buy a lot of land. Okay. Now, that is all for the inversions. Remember, we've said that they can be used to express wishes. They can be used in question tags. They can be used in sentences that have correlatives. They can be used in conditional statements where you want to rephrase a statement using what? Inversions. It can also be used to foreground an idea or to form questions. All right, I want to give you an exercise, 2 of them, so that can help you in practicing the use of inversions, and even help you to be able to use inversions not just in speech but also in writing. Remember, this is something that should help you be better in speech not only but also in writing. Okay. Okay. So in the exercise, fill in the gaps using the words in the box. Else, circumstances, only, did, until, and account. Number 1, nowhere dash do they charge you so much for your water. Number 2, not dash she apologizes for what she said. Will I speak to her again? Number 3, on no dash should you miss the once in a lifetime opportunity. Number 4, at no time dash he seem to realize what an idiot he was making of himself. And number 5, on no dash must this door be left unlocked. Number 6, not dash do I know you are wrong, but I can also prove you are wrong. All right. Then the last question. The last question. Now, in the second exercise, you're supposed to rewrite the following sentences using the instructions given in brackets. Sorry. All right. So you should not tell him about my trip to China. So you begin your sentence with, oh no. All right. This must not leak out to the press. So you're supposed to start with under. Okay. Maybe we can say you're supposed to begin. Okay, begin. Okay, begin with. All right, so the same case with this one. You begin with in all the questions. Begin with the ones that are in brackets. Number 3, we were only able to cross the border by offering him a bribe. Begin only. Such a hurricane has rarely happened in Hereford. Begin hardly ever. Number 5, he wasn't rich and he wasn't handsome. Begin neither. All right, so that is all for today's lesson. Remember, we say that inversions is where the subject and the verb is interchanged or maybe reversed, so that we have the auxiliary coming before the subject. All right, and we have various ways to achieve them, using time adverbials, using questions, using exclamations. All right, like with here and there. Okay, we're using adverbial expressions such as only and not only, only and only after. We can also we talked about the various functions of inversions. We can use them to foreground, we can use them to form questions, we can use them when we want to change the conditional sentence into an inversion. Sometimes we can also use it in various ways. We've also said that it's a very important aspect, especially in speech. So I need you to go on and read more, read ahead. Okay, you can find books that have the exercises. Try and attempt them constantly so that you know it helps you master this skill well and helps you to upgrade your linguistic ability.